Hello to everyone and welcome to another E3-Roundtable. We are broadcasting from the E3 YouTube studio, as you may know, and I have a guest today. It's Donna. As you can see on the screen behind me, Donna is from Boomi. We are sitting here in the studio and my name is Peter. I am the editor-in-chief of the E3 magazine for nearly 25 years, so quite a long time, and I know the SAP community a little bit, and SAP community is open, like now the camera is open and you see behind me Salzburg, and here on the screen already Donna. Donna, I'm sorry, we have a little bit of a foggy day today in Salzburg. As you can see at the window, you see the old town, and if there would be no fog, you would see behind the old town the mountains where it's still snow for skiing, but today it's not quite good weather. But I'm happy to see you here in our E3 studio for the live talk. About what are we talking? You have seen it on the screen behind me, on the red screen before. We are talking about ERP platforms and alternatives, which is, I think, a very, very important subject for the whole SAP community, not only here in Germany or Switzerland or Austria. It's a worldwide phenomenon that the SAP community is open. They are using a lot of different IT tools beside SAP. And so I think Boomi has a very, very important role in this community. Maybe for our audience, just to know, in a few weeks we will have a meeting in Heidelberg, Germany, where Donna will also be our guest, and there we will talk about alternatives to ERP platforms in abroad. So I'm really looking forward now to have a warm-up with you, Donna, and to see each other live in some weeks in Heidelberg, Germany. But let's just jump in, and maybe, Donna, you can explain first a little bit and tell us a little bit more about Boomi. I'm not sure if every SAP customer knows very well what Boomi is doing and where Boomi is located. So let's start with a short, brief introduction to Boomi itself. Please, Donna.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be with you, and I can't wait to see you in Heidelberg again. So what is Boomi about? Many of you may know Boomi from the integration space, integration and automation. And that's where 25 years ago, Boomi started. But like all businesses that are viable today, Boomi has continued to grow and change and has become a unified platform for enterprise level integration and automation and data management and API management and now AI. So you have a single platform that allows you to work across all of the important pieces in your business and be able to share the data, more importantly, from all of those systems. Peter, you alluded to the fact that folks are really looking at composability. SAP is still the core, especially in finance for the majority of people. SAP still drives 89% of the world's GDP. So it still is very important. However, customers want to be able to use best of breed solutions in certain areas, whether it's manufacturing or HR or CRM. They want to choose and then use SAP for what it works best for them. So that's how Boomi can help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense a lot. You just mentioned the buzzword Composable ERP. I like this very, very much because it's open the SAP ecosystem and it's open the SAP community. I think we will talk about a composable ERP later on. But first, maybe for our audience, can you say some words about your position at Boomi? What are you responsible for it?
Certainly. So I work in our area of Boomi Marketplace and Technology Alliances. I am on the alliance side, and I support our customers and our partners with all things to do with SAP and the SAP ecosystem, and at the same time, the AI ecosystem. Now, that may seem like they don't go together, but as you'll hear throughout the conversation, how AI and SAP go hand in hand.
Okay, that sounds very good. Now, now I see you on my big screen here in the studio again. Thank you very much for this short introduction. Maybe we will try to talk in the next few minutes in a top-down way. So let me begin with a general question. Why do you think, or why does Boomi think that ERP platforms are very important for the IT architecture? What is the general role of platforms, and why are they become so important in the last few years? Maybe you can give me your perspective, please, Donna.
Certainly. So when you say platforms, I think you mainly mean SaaS, right? We have SaaS capabilities like Salesforce, like our data management systems like Databricks, right? These are all platforms, whether they're data platforms or CRM platforms or integration platforms like Boomi started as an iPaaS. These platforms really took off during the digital transformation, right? We're coming out of the era of digital transformation and now in the era of AI. But during that 10, 15 years of digital transformation where people were going from on-prem to the cloud with as many of their systems and applications as they could, this is where these platforms have come to their own.
So what I see in the SAP community, there two important platforms. So sometimes I guess it's quite difficult for the SAP customers to choose what platform for what function. There we have the business technology platform and now the business data cloud. Isn't it a little bit too complicated for a normal ERP user? And Boomi, as I know, has just one platform. So can we discuss these many platforms for just one single job, which is called ERP?
Yeah. And there are other ERPs out there still, right? There's still Dynamics. There's different things out there. However, the SAP configuration now with the two main platforms that they have that you mentioned, it can complicate things. It can make things more complex. The difference is if you wanted to look at what Boomi is doing, Boomi's not an ERP, but Boomi can help your ERPs talk to your non-ERP systems, right? To your point-to-point applications by sharing that data from SAP, whether that be BTP or Business Cloud, across all your landscape, okay? Because the data would travel through Boomi, and then it can go anywhere you want it to. It can go to those two platforms. It can go to anything in your environment. And that's where Boomi is different. Boomi offers you data management, API management, of course, integration and automation, AI, all on a single platform. Okay, so if you're talking about complexity, Boomi breaks through that complexity.
You mentioned API. Is API still important in a modern IT infrastructure or ERP architecture? What does Boomi think about API?
Hugely important. Okay, hugely important. A couple of things we've learned from mistakes of the past with APIs, right? We never thought about governing APIs until there were so many out there in the wild, and they were causing so many problems for businesses that we thought we better get our arms around this. What Boomi is doing on the AI side is taking care of governance first. Okay, and that's one of the things that we bring to the table. APIs are going to drive AI going forward. AI interacts via APIs, back and forth to the model, out to agents. It's all done over APIs. So where APIs have been important, their importance now elevates to a new degree because of their usage with every AI agent deployment or agentic process.
Thank you for this answer. Yes, I think we will talk about agentic AI or a little bit later in more details, but allow me first to switch to another subject which is very important for AI, the whole data management, because without data, I think AI or especially agentic AI wouldn't work. So Boomi is friend with nearly every other IT platform, so you can share data between nearly everyone. Is this true? And if it is true, maybe, here's the camera. So, and if it is, yeah, we have too much cameras here in the studio. And if it is true, maybe you can explain it a little bit more, how over the Boomi platform, a customer, especially an SAP customer, can share data between a lot of different places. In fact, it is important for AI. Please, Donna.
Yeah, absolutely. Having your data right in every system is important, especially for folks who are still going through their S4 migration or preparing for their S4 migration. They know how painful it's been to get their data correct in order to move good data to S4. That is the case for everything. So having a single golden record for all your critical data is important. And whether you use a data platform like Databricks or you use Boomi's data management, you want a repository where your data is synced together and you have single golden records for everything, not partners that have 3 different addresses and then have something that, 2 versions of their name. And these are things you find all the time. So you need to get your data right. And if you can get it right in one place instead of having to correct it in 6 places, that sure makes life a lot easier when you're sharing data. So then you go to your system of record, it grabs the golden record that it knows is correct because it's getting updates in real time from all the other systems. So if there's a change, I'm going to know about it. So when somebody calls me from the data hub, I can then distribute it. Let me give you an example, Peter, how multiple systems come into play. So I have to connect differently to SAP to extract data, right, than I do to Oracle or any of my other systems in my landscape. So I now grab that data from SAP. I grab the data from all the other interfaces that I have, and I'm ready to dish this specific piece of data out. And I want to send it to 4 different places. I want to send it on-prem. I want to send something to Salesforce. I want to send something to Oracle and write something back to SAP. I can do that in a single process in Boomi, all at one time. I don't have to have a separate process for sending to SAP, a separate process for sending to Salesforce. No, I can do multiple things with data that I know is correct because I've got one golden record for that information or that conglomerate of information that I'm sending out.
That's a very important point we are discussing in the SAP community to synchronize different systems if they are on-prem or hybrid cloud. So you just mentioned it's for Boomi open. Boomi can collect data from on-prem systems and from different cloud systems and bring them together. Is this right?
Absolutely, absolutely correct. And that is really where Boomi makes a difference, because first of all, we give you the ability to create golden records. So you have that one source of truth. This is really important, especially during the migration to S4, because you're going to have, for a period of time, because you're going to parallel run more than likely. Very few people are doing a big bang owing to the risk. So you're going to have ECC and S4 running in parallel for a certain period of time, even if it's only on parts of your landscape. During that time, you're going to have two sources of truth, because I have a business process that cuts across ECC and then parts of it happen on S4. Well, what's true in ECC for that part of the process is different than what the data is going to look like once it gets to S4. So what we do is, by putting Boomi for SAP in the middle, which is our SAP offering, you can keep both in sync. So you can have the entire holistic view, regardless of how your business process runs across both systems during that period. That's just one example of data synchronization.
Yeah, I think this is really a very, very important point, because a lot of customers who are in this transformation, the digital transformation, are still on old on-prem ECC systems with an Oracle or Microsoft database. Yeah, and on the other side, they have also established on greenfield or brownfield the new system S4 with HANA. And just as you mentioned, they're running in parallel, and it's quite difficult to see where's the point of truth in such a system.
Correct.
Yeah.
That happens in so many places. Hence the reason that we connected Boomi for SAP with our data hub originally, was to be sure that we get both the ECC data and the S4 data and correct in one place, because it was a problem for our customers. They were having to do really difficult database things using very expensive database resources to try to do this manually. So now we give the customers the ability to do it in real time.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, expensive. Everything in the SAP community is very, very expensive. So I think we have to talk a little bit about the license fee or the license model as well. Maybe for our audience, just last week in Hamburg, Germany, was a meeting from the German-speaking SAP user group, the DSAG Technology Days, and there happened a nice thing. I think the audience know a little bit the SAP Business Data Cloud, but the German user group said it's not a business data cloud, it's business data complexity, because the license model is so complex that they renamed internally the business data cloud to business data complexity. That's just the background information for our audience. But now back to you, Donna. Here's the camera. Back to you, Donna. Can you explain us a little bit, or tell us a little bit about the licensing model for the Boomi platform?
That's a really great question, Peter. And I'm sorry people are finding it very complex on the SAP side. I see that with so many customers. They get confused about what system to use for what. And it is hard, which is one of the reasons that we have this one platform concept. So you can use everything on the Boomi platform under the same license. Okay, so we have a brand new model called One Platform, where instead of having to buy Boomi the modules that you want to deploy, you get everything. It just comes, boom, you've got everything. And then you purchase bundles of messages. The platform comes with a certain number, X million messages for this module, etc. And then all you do is continue to buy messages, one-time fee, and then message tiers. Okay, so very, very easy. And even if you're not using, say, the APIM capability today, you can use those messages for another part of the platform. And then when you start using APIM, then you buy that message tier again. So it gives you the ability to, when you're ready to add more capability, it's there. You don't have to go and buy it. You don't have to switch it on. It's ready for you to use.
Yeah, that's great. I like it very much. What you just told us, and with your words, I think you said, "Boom, it's here. It's absolutely there, and it will stay there." This is a very important information, maybe to our audience in the SAP community. Maybe you know, if you buy SAP Business Technology Platform credit points, they are not cheap. But this is another subject. But the other one is these credit points will go after 1 year. So if you are not consumption these credit points, yeah, they are gone. Yeah, they are into the air, or I don't know what SAP is thinking about, that you are buying something, credit points, and they can vanish. So, be careful if you are choosing a platform, and platforms as a service are very important. We are coming now, Donna, to this very important subjects of artificial intelligence. Yeah. I know that Boomi is working in the area of agentic AI as well. So maybe you can first give us an overview what Boomi is offering in the area of artificial intelligence to the IT community.
Sure. Thank you, Peter. So we'll be really clear on this point that Boomi is not turned itself into an AI company. AI is just something we do, that we use internally, that we are building for our customers, and we're giving our customers the ability to build AI using our Agent Studio. We are a data activation company. So what we do is that we take that data, where you think about it this way: data at rest is a potential. Data in motion is opportunity, right? So that we want you to use that data regardless of where it's coming from, and you're going to use it to fuel AI. Okay, so Boomi offers two main concepts. One is our Agent Studio, which allows you to build and deploy agents in the Boomi environment. And then we have the control tower. Now, this is very important. So unlike the errors we made in API management, we are saying the industry made in API management about not governing soon enough, Boomi has the concept of control tower. So the agents are governed right from the very beginning. The security levels, how they're being used, how they're being deployed. A CIO or a CEO can go into control tower at any point and look at the agents that have been built in Boomi using Agent Studio, or Bedrock by Amazon, or Agentforce by Salesforce, and eventually many, many others. So Boomi is allowing you to use AI in a practical way, right? So that's what we're trying to do. And the agents are one thing, and then agentic transformation is the next level.
Yeah, I think this is a very important point, what you mentioned about the control tower, because as I see it in the SAP community, but also general in the IT community, a lot of people look about the technical possibilities of agentic AI and are not looking about security and compliance. Yeah, so I think this is a very important part, as I have understand it, for the control tower, the whole compliance and security environment to keep it clean, or isn't it?
No, definitely. And I think if anybody knows Boomi, one of the things that we are known for is being the best in security. in our industry, being the absolute best, and that we have the highest accreditations across the integration and automation landscape, both in the US and in Europe. And as new legislation comes out, we know that the European AI Compliance Act is coming out very soon, on top of what's already there. And Boomi will continue to ensure that we are at the top of the game and we have all the certifications, whether they're ISO or any other major compliance policy. Boomi will always ensure that your data is safe. Because now, like you said, with AI, your data is going to go even further afield. It's going to be used for different things. And you need to be able to feel comfortable that because you can use your SAP data from HR or from finance or from manufacturing, it doesn't matter. It's going to be secure.
Yeah, I think this subject, the security and compliance, is very important. In fact, of what we talked at the beginning of our discussion, the composable enterprise. If you really have a composable enterprise with a lot of different data sources and a lot of different IT systems, and between these systems a lot of agentic AI, then compliance and security is much more important than in the past. What
As
can
is
we
your data.
expect? Yeah, as in the data. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So the data has got to be able to move easily across all those things you just mentioned, Peter.
Yeah.
All your aspects of the landscape, the data's got to be available. Let me give you a statistic from an MIT study. 95% of the generative AI initiatives, pilots, etc., are failing to deliver on ROI. Okay? Now,
Okay.
the executives think that this is due to the models having problems or there being an issue with the AI. It isn't. MIT found that the number one problem for these failures was that the integration at the enterprise level was lacking. So you've got all these systems out there and they can't talk to each other, which is what Boomi was made for, right? That was our original thing. It's still a problem at the enterprise level. If they get that connectivity and get that data to be able to talk to each other, like through Boomi, who can talk to any endpoint, like you said, then that problem's going to go away. And then their AI initiatives will work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other stat is 50% of the generative AI and AI budgets are allocated to sales and marketing. MIT says that's the wrong way around, right? The big ROI is going to come in back office automation, eliminating external business process outsourcing, and cutting external costs to streamline your systems. This is where the money should be going. And the programs that are allocating the money to the back office are finding, really good results.
Okay, great. Very interesting. Thank you for mentioning this study. Now I'm thinking we are talking now for nearly 30 minutes, and maybe our audience is now really interesting in an alternative platform to the SAP platforms. So at the end, please, Donna, can you give us a short overview how to implement Boomi in an existing ERP environment? Are there partners from Boomi who can help an SAP customer? How long does it take? What is your experience to bring the Boomi platform into the SAP community, into the SAP system from an SAP customer?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, one point of clarity. Remember, Boomi is not a replacement for your ERP, right? SAP is still the best ERP system in the world. Okay. However, you want choices, right? And you want your SAP data to work for you in every aspect. right? And the easier you can get to your data, the better that's going to be. That's where Boomi comes in. So Boomi allows you native connectivity to SAP, that's number one, which allows us access to all the SAP data to be used in integration processes, automation, or AI, okay? So that's the first thing to remember is now you can extract data at scale out of your SAP system without having to use any SAP resources. No ABAP developers, no integration developers from SAP skills need to be involved in data extraction out SAP anymore because Boomi does it in a no-code fashion, okay? So once your data comes out of SAP, the native connectivity allows us to then, it's just automatic. It flows right to the Boomi platform, okay? And then it can be used, again, in integration processes, sent to multiple places in one process. That data can go in real time or in batch. So you can decide critical data goes in real time. So if a user goes to run a report or do analytics, they don't have to say, okay, did batch run successfully overnight or did it fall down? Or when was the last time this particular set of data was updated? I don't have to worry about it because I know that it is going to be up to the minute for my critical data. It's going to be up to the second, right? So that's important. That allows you to use, whether you're using BTP, whether you're using the data cloud, both of them, right? You can do that and just fold Boomi into that where you get your true composability. I think customers who have chosen S4 on-prem have some disparity. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. And I always tell customers, you've got lots of choices. You can go to Rise. You can go to your own cloud. You can go to a hyperscaler. Or you can go to on-prem. It is a choice. For a very long time, SAP was saying, no, we're not going to support anybody on-prem because they wanted it all to go to the cloud, right? Because that's where the consumption, that's where they want the consumption. But there's major businesses for financial reasons, for privacy reasons, governments who want to stay on-prem. So they basically said, you have to offer us an on-prem version. So SAP said, fine, you can do S4 on-prem. I mean, Boomi doesn't care where you are. It's going to take your data anyway. But if you're going to do on-prem, then you're not going to get any AI. AI is only going to be available, and other features on the technology platform will not be available to on-prem customers. And I think that's really unfair. It's almost like you're being punished for needing to have this type of landscape, right? It's not your choice. So what you can do is by implementing Boomi, because AI comes with your platform, you will get all of the wonderful stuff that AI has to offer, and nobody's going to hold it back. It's just there. It's there for you to use. So I want S4 on-prem customers to know they don't have to do without or try to build their own AI. They can use Boomi.
Yeah. And last question, from your experience, how long does it take to implement the Boomi platform in a generic ERP environment? Is it a project from weeks, months, or years? Because we know a lot of projects in the SAP community who runs 3, 5, 10 years, even 10 years. I know some project who have run 10 years.
Me too.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is an SAP project. So there is an element of being, getting into the company's roadmap to make sure that they roll this out. But from a Boomi perspective, Boomi is an iPaaS. It is SaaS. So it is very easy to deploy. I mean, we're getting very close to a one-click deployment for Boomi coming very soon. But right now, it is extremely easy to deploy. From a Boomi perspective, as long as you can crack the nut of making sure that you've got your SAP resources who are going to be needed to do the back-end knitting together, which isn't very much. It's just usually trying to get a place in the roadmap to get development to spend a little time, right? or to get the basis team to spend a little time. So it really is more about the flexibility and agility of the SAP customer, because as fast as they want to move, Boomi will be able to move. Okay, so it really is about that. And if you can break down those barriers, you're going to have a very quick and seamless implementation of Boomi, and then you can start using it immediately, right, to move your data around.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Donna. In our next roundtable, then we are talking about the one-click deployment, and maybe already with a customer from Boomi, maybe a customer from Boomi in the German-speaking countries. We are looking for it. Thank you again for your time and for the detailed answers about my questions. Apologize my English. Yeah, I hope it was fine for you and it was fine for our audience. But the important person at this roundtable was, of course, Donna, and I think she
Peter, can I say?
Yeah, please
Can
go
I just
ahead.
say quickly? Anyone that wants to contact me after, right? Please feel free to get my information either from you or just Donna.Matthews with 2 T's at Boomi.com. Okay. And it doesn't have to be about Boomi. It can just be questions about your SAP, and I will try to help you in any way that I can. I want customers to be able to take that move. This is a once in a generation move. This is not just an upgrade or a migration like what our customers are used to. This is huge. So you need to make sure, is Rise right for you? Is on-prem right for you? Is a hyperscaler?
Right.
And just make sure that you really look. Okay.
That's a very, very important message, and very important and very nice final words. Thank you, Donna. And we can give the service to our audience. We will put the email address of Donna below the YouTube window on our YouTube channel. So everyone who will look and who will get in contact with Donna, please go to our YouTube channel, and there you will find the email address of Donna. I think this will be fine for you as well, or? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, thank you for your time, and to the audience, thank you for the participation at our roundtable. There are coming a lot of roundtables this year again, and we are looking forward to see you again. And nice and welcome from Salzburg. Thank you very much.